Hello, welcome to the 3inMidfield podcast, the podcast where three friends who are due to be professional footballers that were dashed away as children when we all discover food have their say on the Premier League. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are stacked out. This is crazy. I've never seen so many faces. It is insane. It is insane. But we're all here to talk about and discuss football. But I feel like we've got so many intros to get through. So we'll get straight to it. We are joined by, of course, the ever-present Coach. Coach, how you doing, sir?
I am good. Like I told you before the show, man. Nothing can bring me down. I chopped some good jollof rice. It's been a good day. Man's the energy's here, bro. So man's are back. You see, I got a trim as well. I'm back to life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here. I'm good. How you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm all good over here. We also joined. Second time, is it? Back to back, Sems. Back to back.
Okay.
Back again, as some people will say. Yeah, man, I'm here. We got 3 points at the weekend, so I'm smiling. You get me?
Marshall didn't score though, so.
The baby's off.
Second time as well for Dot. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. You guys have been, it's crazy what you guys have been doing, man. It's crazy.
Thank you.
Also joined by two first-time guests, Eleanor.
Eleanor.
I prepped you and everything.
I'm terribly sorry. It's one, it's the way your name's spelled. Two, I've been watching The Good Place, so that doesn't help me. It doesn't help me.
No, it doesn't.
But first time, I will get your name right eventually. I'm terribly sorry.
That's all right.
Spurs fan. Disgraceful. I feel like they're all coming out the woodwork. We've had like
we're
5
sitting
Spurs
pretty,
fans.
so I think you better pipe down, to be honest.
Oh my god, damn.
Oh, they've got wings now. I'm telling you, they've got wings. They've all got wings now. These Spurs.
Yeah, they've all got
all right. God. Oh, damn.
And we are joined by Yannicka. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Manchester City fan. We've been going. How long have we been going for, Coach?
This is our fifth year doing this.
Fifth year. First Manchester City fan. You're hard to find, man.
Really?
You are hard to find.
History has been made. We found one of them.
But it's great to have you all on so many great footballing opinions in the room tonight. We shall start on. Let me get my One Football app up. We're not sponsored by them. I just keep mentioning the name. I don't know why.
Are you trying to be a plug or something? Is that what you're trying to do?
Maybe. I'm trying to get that One Football money, you know. That's not a lie. We shall start on Friday. Brighton, few games to get through till we get to the meat of the whole podcast. Brighton and Hove Albion, Burnley 0-0. I don't want to say anything much on this game, to be honest. I'm glad when Sean Dyche gets, even if it's 1 point, I'm fine with that.
You know what, bro? I think just because today so many people, let's just do our teams and get the heck out of here, because that 0-0 sucks. And of course, we can talk about Ademola Lookman because he's a waste man. But more importantly, that game sucked. So I don't talk about that game. It was shocking. I'm even upset that I watched it. So there you go.
We'll just roll through. We'll roll through the results then. Southampton 2, Newcastle 0, and so we get to Saturday. Everton 1, Manchester United 3. I mean, we were all hoping, I'm including the Man United fans in this discussion, by the way, that Everton would beat Manchester United. So you just get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the heck out of here. But Bruno Fernandes just wanted to show up. Coach, how you feeling? I don't think happy is the word.
I'm feeling satisfied that my team got 3 points. I'm not feeling satisfied that certain men are still at my club. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, I don't respect my club, or I don't respect the manager right now, so I refuse to name them out of courtesy for myself. So Man Red won the game. They did very well. They got 3 points. Everton, I think, were not in great form. They kind of made it easy after because they scored their goal. They weren't closing our spaces. We were doing our thing after that. It was quite easy. Bruno Fernandes actually had a good game for the first time in like 4 months. And my boy Cavani, my king, Tarzan, he scored for us as well. So I'm in a good mood. We needed those points because it took us from 15th to 14th. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm absolutely excited. But yeah, no, it was a very important win. So hopefully now we can get another win when we come back from international break, because this bottom half of the table lifestyle that I'm living right now isn't good. So yeah, I'm kind of happy.
Sam, so you a fan of Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah, Bruno, he's a good player, man. I think we have to all be honest. Anybody who watches
I'm getting
Manchester
abused
United,
already.
He's a gooner. He's a gooner. Don't worry. He's a gooner.
It's fine.
no, anybody who watches us will see that Bruno Fernandes he blows hot and cold. You know what I mean? But the thing is, he will get the stats. He will score penalties. He will get an assist. He will get a goal even when he's playing poorly. So I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of his like work rate, his endeavor. He's got those captain qualities. And he played well at the weekend. He hasn't always been playing well, as Kojo said. You know, he's not been playing well for the majority of the season and towards the back end of last season as well. But yeah, he turned up on the weekend. I do think that Everton made it easy for us. You know, Decore, Alan, they weren't the best. James Rodriguez was missing. So it was just one of them games where it went right for us, man. And Ollie seems to do this all of the time when it's getting a bit sticky for him. You know what I mean?
I guess this question goes out to the Liverpool and the Man City fans in the room. Are you enjoying watching Manchester United in this current state, or is it starting to get just a bit sad?
I'd never say that it's sad, you know. I'd quite like them to get relegated, but it's not going to happen.
Oh,
Look, I've been a City fan my whole life. I've been through the most amount of rubbish from United fans, so yeah. But I thought Ali would actually win the game, because he normally does that when he's under pressure. He pulls out a win, and then people start saying, "Oh, maybe it's not the manager," and then you'll probably lose an easier game, and then it'll be the same thing over again. I think he does it a lot. He did it with PSG. He tends to beat City. You know, them big games that get people thinking, "Oh yeah, he's the right man for the job." So I did expect him to win. I didn't expect Everton to play that poorly, to be honest. I thought they were bad. But they didn't have Richarlison, who I think when he plays, they're a lot better. So I think that's probably what they were missing. And then Bruno had a good game. So, you know, the second goal in particular, I don't know if that was a cross or a shot on target, but it went in.
That was a cross.
And it was good. So I think United were the better team. But I think it's just, like Kojo says, I think it just kept that man in a job a little bit longer. So, yeah.
he came the hell out of here. But yeah, sorry. Go
on. What went wrong for Everton? I mean, we've heard it might have been Richarlison missing, James Rodriguez was missing. But this is, I think, the second game in a row that they've lost so 2000 third game that they've lost. So was it simply that people like myself were blowing too much steam up of Everton's backside, or is it simply the fact that they're just missing some key players?
You're asking me what's wrong with Everton?
Specifically,
nothing's wrong with Everton. Everton are being Everton. There's not much more I can add to that. And it's interesting because when we went on Sky Sports News during the transfer window, Budge was quick to say that Everton have done the best business this summer. And I wasn't convinced, because I've seen Everton spend 100 million for the last 4 seasons and it's ended up in mid-table finishes. So yes, they started off well, but the last 3 games, they've been poor. And people are quick to say they're missing Richarlison, but Ancelotti is a top-class manager, so he's meant to be able to find a fix and a solution to still get results. And it's easy, again, to say Richarlison's missing, so they're missing something in attack. And Bernard was actually their best player against Man United, so he did his job. But as was mentioned earlier, the midfield didn't turn up. Decore was poor. Alan looked off the pace. And James Rodriguez, this is what you're going to get with him. He's got world-class ability, but he's not a world-class player because he doesn't perform week in, week out.
I got shot down a lot for saying stuff like that, you know. But I agree with that. I think that we're going to see inconsistencies with James Rodriguez, to be honest, this season.
And the problem that I saw, the biggest problem that I saw from Everton on the weekend is that they only had one way of potentially scoring, and that was literally just cross the ball to Calvert-Lewin, and hopefully he produces some sort of magic in the air. And that's not always going to work. You need to be a bit more creative in the middle or work the channels a bit better. But for me, Everton were just knocking the ball, hoping to score, and they had no chance of winning that game.
So, Doc, are you saying that basically no matter how much Everton's trying to improve, they could never try and beat Liverpool?
They're not going to be Liverpool, no disrespect.
I don't know, bring all the disrespect if you want, bro.
I like what they've done. I like what they've done in the summer. Obviously, like, I'm a big fan of Alan. I watched him at Napoli, and he's a very, very good midfielder. Decore, for me, was one of the, best midfielders out of the lower end in the league. So they made good signings, but I just think when Jordan Pickford is your goalkeeper, it puts a cap on what you can achieve, because he just sends nerves throughout the whole team.
That seems fair. Eleanor, Pogba. Let's go to him because even when he doesn't play, he seems to be hitting the headlines. I think just recently there was an interview that said Pogba doesn't seem like he's enjoying his time there. Is it time for him to move on? And do you see him going to a big side? I wouldn't put Tottenham in that category, but a big side, like maybe an Arsenal or a Real Madrid or Barcelona.
With Pogba, the situation is really odd because he's clearly got a great player in him. Like, he is an amazing talent. Like, he is beautiful on the ball when he couldn't be bothered. And it's almost like he doesn't care for United. He just doesn't want to. Oh, hi, I know him. Yeah, it just seems like he just can't be bothered. Like, he just seems like he wants to. Well, he said he wants to go to Madrid, didn't he? Now, playing the way he is, showing the attitude he is, does he really think Madrid fans are going to want him there, or Madrid are going to want him? Because Madrid didn't even like Bale, and he's a bloody magician compared to Pogba. So, like, I don't see why they want Pogba. Like, they just seem like he's not going to get the Madrid. He's not going to get Madrid. He's not going to get a club like that. I don't think, anyway. But I do think he needs to leave United. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to rekindle his love with United again. Ever since Mourinho, it's just been downhill for him at United. I think the relationship's got stale. I think he's just bored. I genuinely think he's bored there. He looks bored.
Damn.
Fair enough. We move on to Crystal Palace 4, Leeds United 0.
We're going to get into it.
I got a soft spot for Palace.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was at that game, actually. I was covering that game. Shout out The Voice. And I'll just kick it off because Eberechi Eze, I said it, I've been waxing lyrical about him. This guy, brilliant player. When that free kick just went in, I was just so happy for the kid. And the thing is, that's the funny thing about Palace, because one day they're excellent, and then next week they have one shot on target, and you're just thinking, where are they actually going with Roy Hodgson? But when they get their best players on the pitch, and I'm talking about Eze, Townsend, Ayew, and Zaha, they're going to be a threat to any team. And I see them pulling off some massive results this season against some of the big teams because they're just set up to just counter and cause destruction.
You guys broke the deal when he joined. I mean, I remember going on the timeline and I saw a beautiful game, and Eze was like, "Wait, hold on, swear that you man now Fabrizio Romano part 2, yeah, I can't respect it." Where does he fit in? If you had to put on, I guess, him, Townsend, that's a Benteke, that'd be a lie. Him, Townsend, and Zaha in like a lineup, how would you think they fit perfectly? Like, who goes where?
Obviously, Roy is going with a 4-4-2. Eze on the left, Ayew and Wilf up front, and Andros on the right wing. But I feel eventually they're going to have to turn away from that sort of formation. Eze is, when he came onto our podcast, he said, "Look, I'm an entertainer. I see myself as a number 10." But his best form at QPR came from the left. So he's one of those players that can operate on the left and drift infield. And anytime he got the ball for Crystal Palace infield, he was just a threat. I didn't realize him or notice him lose the ball once all game. So I think the 4-4-2 works, but midfield protection may be a problem in the bigger games. You may get caught on the break. So I think eventually they should try and implement a 4-2-3-1 with Wilf on the left, Eze centrally, Andros on the right, and Ayew up front. And I think Palace are going to be a good team this season.
It seems like it's going in the right direction for Palace right about now. But I mean, Roy Hodgson, I mean, the comments are saying that he's pretty much stuck in the 90s with 4-4-2. He's getting old, not getting old. He's old. Let's face it. Is it time for him to move on, Yannicka, or is it? Well, one, is it time for him to move on, and two, which manager do you see going there? Because they tried with I forgot his name. It was who is the Dutch Frank de Boer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They tried with him and it didn't work out, so they went back to Hodgson. Who do you think they should go to next?
I think they've definitely improved, but I agree with that. They're quite inconsistent. I don't watch Palace all the time, but I've seen them play big teams and get results, and then the next minute you look at the score and Brighton are beating them. So you just think they're not really that consistent. I think Zaha himself is a great player, but again, inconsistent sometimes. So I think if they can get their consistency right, and go on a run of wins, they should be all right. But I think there's just that. Obviously, I'm not sure for this season because it's not over yet, but I can see them sort of dipping again and then having a few good games and then losing a few. So I think they need to get that. In terms of Hodgson, he's just like an old school manager, isn't he? So I think people kind of want your new managers that are gonna come in and try something new. You know what I mean? So I think he could go, but I don't think they'll sack him unless he puts them in a really bad position. So they're bottom half of the table fighting for relegation. But I don't think he'll get sacked if they're sort of 10th, 11th off. I don't think they'll sack him. So I don't
Wouldn't mind them going down. Ouch.
Gerrard. This is a bit of a shout.
Is it?
I think, yeah, Rangers look unbelievable this season. But I think this will be Roy Hodgson's last season. I think this is the last year in his contract. And from people close to the camp, they're saying that there's going to be some serious changes within the next 12 months at Crystal Palace. So I don't think he will be there next season.
Okay, fair enough. Leeds, they seem to be. I mean, I say this knowing that Arsenal are going to face Leeds soon, so I'm saying it, hoping that we don't embarrass ourselves. But then again, it's Arsenal. We're probably going to embarrass ourselves. Leeds.
We're getting there. Don't worry, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. Leeds hot and cold this season. Stop it.
But after what he's given me, I'm excited.
Yeah, don't worry, we're getting there. Don't worry.
Leeds hot and cold this season. It's weird to say, considering that they have Bielsa, who's so highly respected as a manager.
Love him.
There we go. But can you see them struggling to stay up this season? Thames?
Me? No, I don't see them struggling. I think that they're going to have games like we saw them against Crystal Palace, but then we're going to see them have games like when they played Villa, I think it was, where they were really good. And I think from when you can score goals in this league, I know that you got to be able to keep them out as well, and it's going to be sticky. But I think that they've got enough goals in them. Bamford knows where to find the net. They've got players there like Rafinha that's still got to come through. Was it Rodriguez? So I think. Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna struggle to stay up. And plus, they've got Bielsa as the coach, and the way that they play football as well is pleasing on the eye, but it's also effective as well when they get it right. The only thing is that I think was that about Arteta and Firmino.
It was a great comment.
But nah, Leeds for me will comfortably finish in the league, and I reckon that there will be a top 10 finish as well. To be honest, I think there's a lot more worse teams than them in the league.
What is it about Bielsa, Eleanor? What makes you say I love him?
Well, it's the whole Poch connection, obviously.
Okay.
And he does play football that I enjoy watching. Like, I enjoy watching Leeds, and I think he's just he's so well respected, like, generally across the football world. I just think, and he's done brilliantly with their transfer window. I thought they had a really good transfer window with who they got in and stuff. I just love watching Leeds. I could watch them, and then the next game they'll play terribly, but I know that they're trying, like they put all on, like put everything on the line. So like I enjoy watching those players like die for him. Like, and honestly, I would have taken him pre-Jose. Because if any of you know me, I wasn't a Jose fan before. But I really like him. I just think
like most Spurs fans weren't.
Right. We have to move on to Chelsea 4, Sheffield United 1. Goals from Tammy Abraham, Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech pulling all the strings. Are Chelsea title contenders, coach?
Possibly, because everyone else is inconsistent this season, and I feel like now, I mean, Liverpool are the most consistent team in the league. They've got enough firepower to keep scoring goals, but they're starting to get a lot of defensive injuries, and that could be a problem also. And Chelsea are not suffering any injuries right now. It looks like Thiago Silva and Zuma have built out a good partnership. Mendy looks good so far, which means they don't have to worry about the keeper problem. Chilwell's assisting and scoring and doing what at the back as well. So no, you know what? I don't want to say yeah. I'm gonna sit on the fence and I'm gonna be one of them man. I'm gonna take my time, because if I say yeah and then they get popped next week, you man will come to me and say, Michael, what were you saying? I don't want that kind of heat right now. So possibly. But they're in a good moment at the moment. They've got good players. They're starting to get their players back. I mean, Havertz has COVID. Am I wrong? Havertz has COVID right now.
Why is that actually? Is that what it is? COVID?
Yeah, he has COVID right now. So obviously he's out as well. So when he comes back, that's another player they can fit in. Ziyech's sitting in straight away. Tammy Abrams fighting for his spot, scoring. And Werner's obviously getting on the score sheet. So they've got a lot of firepower. And obviously, Kel, your favorite player, Pulisic, is yet to come back as well. So, yeah.
I don't mind him, but you know the reason.
Hey, listen. Okay. I went on this guy's show a couple of weeks ago, and I said they're not going to win it. I'm not too sure right now. I can't come and say
Who you said that Chelsea aren't going to win? Who's not going to win it?
He's saying that Chelsea are not going to win it. I said that Chelsea are not going to win it. But
okay.
I mean, judging how everyone's inconsistent, I didn't see Liverpool getting all these injuries coming in so quickly in the season already, and they're major as well. Van Dijk, and then Trent is 4 weeks. I'm just not sure. But so far, I still think it'll probably be another Liverpool win. But I wouldn't count Chelsea out, nor would I rule them in.
Does that mean you're ruling us out?
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll come on to that.
Oh, okay. All right. People got Gareth Bale, so they're now thinking they're okay.
Oh, it's a madness right now.
Oh, you can't diss Gareth Bale around me, by the way.
I'm not dissing Gareth Bale. I just said you think you got Gareth Bale, so you think title's coming. I see it.
Jesus.
There are talks of Mendy over David De Gea. Sems. What are these in terms of form, especially on the timeline? In terms of form, is Mendy the better goalkeeper?
No.
Thank you.
Mendy's what? He kept a few clean sheets. He's come in, but he's not really been troubled. And you know what? David De Gea this season has not actually been that bad. Not actually been that bad. He's not done anything wrong. Actually, he's not made any mistakes. Not made any howlers. So. Yeah, we need to see a little bit more from Mendy first before we start going that far that he's a better goalkeeper. But nah, I think it's nonsense. Just people being reactionary in it. That's the way it is.
So Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Kurt Zuma, and Reece James were the back four. We all know that Chelsea have are the liabilities defensively. Let's put it pretty serious. Which back four do you think will suit them going forward from here, Yannicka, or anybody?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Do you know what? I've not watched much of Chelsea this season, to be honest. I've not actually managed to get that many games, but I know they struggled sort of towards the beginning. They were conceding quite a lot of goals. Obviously, Kepa. I'm not a fan of Kepa, so he had to go.
Nobody's a fan of Kepa, it seems.
No. Got Mendy in. Mendy seems to be a bit stronger, so I don't know if that's gonna be the difference. In terms of the defense, I think Thiago Silva will stay there. I think Chilwell is having a really good season so far, so I think they'll keep him. I don't know in terms of whether it will be Zuma the whole season. I don't know, because he was inconsistent before this season. I've not really watched him, but he was. I don't know if he'll stay. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really. It's just because normally I watch loads of football, but this season I've literally not had time. So from what I've seen, them three definitely.
Sheffield United. I mean, last season they were flying high. There's talks about Champions Leagues and finishing in Europa League, stuff like that. And now this season, it seems like their name and their brand have caught up to them. Doc, what's gone wrong for Sheffield this season?
It's tough because they punched above their weight last season. When you look at their team, player for player, it's arguably the worst 11 in the Premier League. So
Fulham, I'm not having that one. Fulham is. Hands down, Fulham is. I'm not having that at all.
I don't think so.
No, you do. You do know. I'm not having it.
What? So he doesn't know.
50-50 is tough.
100-0, bro.
At least Fulham have individual quality. That's what I'm trying to say. They have players. Ademola Lookman, for example.
Did you see his penalty?
Exactly.
I'm sitting there feeling sorry for Scott Parker. Like,
I'm not gonna judge Ademola Lookman off of the penny. Yes, it was a poor miss, but he's been their best player this season.
Shocking.
Like, if he, at the end of the day, if he scored that, everyone says, "Wow, what a penalty! It's gone wrong. Hold your hands up. Poor miss. Fine him, whatever. Move on," because he's a very, very talented player. But just to go back to Sheffield United, I'm worried about them because I don't see them scoring enough goals. Harold mentioned it. I think Ramsdale, I think he's poor. I think he's a poor keeper. The centre-back trio don't look the same. And Ryan Brewster, the big money signing. I was never sure about this move. Because I just don't think Sheffield United suit the way Brewster likes to play. And I think the perfect option for Brewster would have been a Crystal Palace or a Brighton. I think Brighton were the perfect team for him. So I think they'll go down this season. I honestly do feel that Sheffield United will go down this season, but their one shining light is that Sander Berge in midfield. And for them to have any sort of hope in staying up, they need to get him playing well on a weekly basis. They need to get John Fleck back in their team because I think he was their best player last season. And they need Ryan Brewster to score 10 to 15 Premier League goals.
Doc, can I ask you a question? Because regarding the Brewster stuff, this is something that I've spoken about on my pod. Like I watched him and he just seems to be running around. There doesn't seem to be anything happening for him up top. And thinking about that, they could get relegated. What do you think that could do to his confidence? Like he's the big money signing, isn't it? And for him to go down, not scoring any goals, do you worry for him going forward?
It's a tough situation. I hope they don't go down for him. Honestly, I do hope they don't go down. I don't know. He has to have a good season regardless whether they go down or not. I think if he scores 10 to 15 Premier League goals, he will easily get another Premier League club. But the problem is, if he doesn't score, then he's going to be in the Championship next season.
And when I watched him, he had one shot in his first 3 appearances. I don't think he had a shot in the last game, so it might even be 1 in 4. And they don't create chances. They're one win in their last 11 Premier League games or something crazy like that. For me, I'm always talking about strikers. You need to create chances for them. If he's missing 3 chances a game, then it's one thing. But yeah, I worry because I just don't see him getting the chances to even score any goals if they get relegated. So I worry for Brewster, man. He's a young talent. He's somebody that I think is very, very, very good. And that move doesn't seem to be the right one for me.
Obviously, that's my problem. I just don't think the move is the right one. I know Brewster said all the right things in his, opening interview with the club, but from what I'm led to believe, there was other options that they preferred. But obviously, those deals didn't materialize. So Sheffield United was the best option, the best backup option. Chris Wilder needs to find a way to get the best out of him because Brewster, he's not great outside of the box, but you give him a chance, he will put it in the net. How are you going to work that ball to get him in that 6-yard box to score goals? That's the big problem.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what? Yeah, this comment just jarred me here, right here. Listen. Your club actually needs to be investigated because you sold some studs for good money. Yeah. And I'm struggling to get Daniel James out of the city of Manchester, let alone out of my club. Yeah. So how is that? How do you get these guys to go for such good money? I don't understand. Do you get it?
Michael Edwards, best director of football in the world, arguably. The thing is about Brewster, he's a brand, so he's always going to be worth a lot of money. He scored 11 goals in 22 games in the Championship last season. He's English, he's marketable, so automatically you're going to get a 20 mil fee. Whether you agree with that is another question, but you're going to get about 20 mil for a player like that. But I want to quickly mention something on Chelsea, and I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but from what I've seen, I think Mason Mount looks like a better player than Kai Havertz. From what I've seen.
Oh. I mean, he's better than Harry Winks, but I mean, yeah,
I mean, that's not difficult.
Why are you doing that? You're gonna get us started.
I'm probably better than Harry Winks.
Crazy.
Well, you know what it is?
Mount
looks very, very functional in that Chelsea team, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think in that Chelsea team, Frank loves him, so he finds a way to fit him in. And yeah, Mount does look very accomplished, I must say, playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, you've rattled a lot of people here, bro. You've rattled a lot of people here, bro.
Because I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I've watched Havertz very closely, and I don't see any special attributes. I actually don't see it. And my problem with that type of player is that they're a dying breed. We've seen it with Dele Alli. We've seen it with Thomas Muller, even though he's reinvented himself. Anton Griezmann is struggling at Barcelona. I don't think that player fits the modern game anymore. Mm-hmm. And the thing is about Mason Mount, he's used as a scapegoat, or Lampard loves him, but he's been one of Lampard's best players in the last 16 months. Last season, the way he started off the season was fantastic. Obviously, he petered out towards the end. He's a young player. And the difference between world-class and, let's say, for example, Havertz that needs a year or two to settle, look at Ziyech's impact already.
Mm.
Okay.
Kai Havertz is 80 mil. He needs to deliver straight away. There's no excuses.
I mean, it's not like he's not scored. He's scored here and there, but that's the thing. He's 80 mil, yes, and you expect him to live up to the price tag, essentially. But
because if I ask anyone on this panel, what is his best attribute? He's not brilliant at dribbling. Mm-hmm. He's not a brilliant passer. He's not physical. I've seen him cost Chelsea 2 goals. Like, I'm genuinely asking you.
No, I understand
because we're quick to say, oh, this guy, because he's got the name, because he's been playing in Germany, yeah, big reputation, but he's not an Ozil.
I think the price tag comes down to potential. It also like the branding as well. Like that's why Brewster cost Sheffield that much, and that's probably why Havertz cost Chelsea that much. I think he could come good because he was brilliant for Leverkusen, and it's all about one. It's hard when Ziyech hits the ground running. It's hard when Timo Werner hits the ground running. So when you're not exactly lighting fireworks lighting off fireworks, crying Havertz, mad. It's hard when a player like that who costs so much doesn't hit the ground running as well. Ouch! This is harsh, man. Havertz is a Tesco brand Ozil.
Listen,
Yikes.
the back and forth in the comments right now is a bit.
I know, but
I
these
know.
comments are mad.
It's a bit.
That's crazy.
It's a bit crazy.
But
right?
I do think he will come good eventually. I agree. We haven't seen the best of him, but I think the best is yet to come. I have a bit of faith in him. He is quality. I wouldn't say he excels at much, but what he does do, he's quite good at. And for 80 million, do you want that? No, not at all. But then again, I feel like he will come good. We move on to West Ham 1, Fulham 0. Thomas Souček with the goal. We already touched on penalty just a bit, but then again, I feel like we have to have a full-blown discussion on this thing. Why? You said before, Doc, that what if he scores that is brilliant, it's amazing. But then again, he plays for Fulham. 2, they're in a relegation battle. When you need to have earn points, you need to be serious when it comes to putting away chances like that. Why did he go for that penalty? I don't know why he tried to chip it. Why did he try to anchor it? It makes no sense in that situation.
Is that for me to answer?
It's kind of a rebuttal for your comment.
Because ever since I've started speaking to footballers on a regular basis, I try to not be reactionary. Like, I don't want to abuse them and say this player's awful, that player's bad, because for them to be doing what they're doing at that age and performing, it's difficult, right? But at the end of the day, Ademola Lookman, he missed the penalty. I don't know what he was thinking. It was a shocking attempt to try and score a goal. But he has been Fulham's best player this season. And I think he's their standout player. Anytime he gets the ball, he makes things happen. Yes, he disgraced himself on the weekend, but he'll come back stronger. It's a mistake.
Yeah, no.
Yes, and he's young, so it's just there's a lot riding in that situation, and you need to show a bit of maturity in that situation.
He's not the penalty taker. Why are we not?
But
he had the confidence to take the penalty.
He took the penalty.
I think it's the idea that obviously he's done a Panenka. Obviously, there's such a look over it. It's one of those, you do it if you're either a high caliber or if it's the game's really won, you can do it. But really and truly, if he struck it well and he missed it, he'd still be getting the same anyway. So it's one of them ones where
I don't think he'll be getting the same.
The issue with that penalty is
such a stupid thing to do.
The issue with that penalty is, for me, he's seeing the social media hotline reels of his penalty, getting the draw, the penalty. Because there's no need for you to be doing that. There's no need for you to be doing that. Was it 96 something minute?
Yeah.
Trying to equalize.
Yeah.
No, you just don't do that, man. So for me, it was irresponsible from him. He saw the headlines, and that's what he was trying for.
Damn.
West Ham.
I tried, man. I
don't know why. I'm not even defending him. I'm saying it was a horrible attempt. It was a bad miss, and he should be, hang out to dry. But you don't pin it down on him forever. You move on. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Could have gained 1 point.
With that. Yeah, he made a mistake. We all make mistakes in life, innit? So
at 23, like, what were we doing? Like, this guy's a professional.
I don't know about you. I was getting my trims at 23, bro.
Eating your jollof rice.
He's not used to the sort of our players then. During the game.
Let's go to the United fans. Would you take Moyes back in right now?
I don't know what that comment was about.
Please.
What are you doing?
I don't know what that comment was about.
Hilarious. I literally love it. Please do it.
Wait for your club to. Let's go to Arsenal right now, please. Let's do it right now.
Nah, man. I don't think so. Your game was last. It's fine. We'll leave it to last. We got you. Yeah. Anyway, West Brom 0, Tottenham 1. Good win for Tottenham. We move on.
Look at the smile.
No. Okay.
Look at the smile. She heard West Brom and knew what was coming.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Let's go straight to you, Eleanor.
Yeah.
Are you going to win the league?
Realistically, no, we're not going to win the league. But I would like to have some form of title challenge. I would like to be up there. I feel like we've got the attacking players to be up there, not defending. We just got to outscore everyone because 1-0 is not sustainable for Tottenham. And it was pretty lucky. I will say it was pretty lucky, but the point is that normally that is a game that we just capitulate and just totally mess it up. Like, normally, that is what Tottenham do. Like, we don't ever take our chance. And we finally took even though it was for like 20 minutes, we actually took the chance. So there is a mentality change, albeit it's small, but I just think that we're scoring a lot of goals and we've got very good attacking players. I don't see why we can't be up there. I genuinely don't see why we can't be up there. Like, we might not, we're not going to win it realistically, but we could definitely be up there. That game was so slow paced, and it reminded me of like a few seasons ago whenever we played Burnley and we always just messed it up every time we had like the little glimmer of hope. But we finally kind of just grinded it out. But we've got to stop doing that. We've got City next, and if we just sit there and play the way we did, we are getting totally outrun. We are gone. So we need to start playing some football like how we was at the beginning of the season. But it's not very sustainable to do that. But hopefully we play better against teams that actually play against us, because when you sit back, we struggle to break them down like so much, and we just look dead. It looked like two relegation teams. If you watch the whole game, it looked like two relegation teams playing each other for most of the game, and then Kane just got the goal, which is great. But yeah, I don't know. We definitely can win something. Finally. But it's just, will we actually do it? Is there a mentality there? I don't know.
Some might say it's the history of Tottenham.
It's the history of
Look at
Tottenham.
this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I hear this comment way too much in my life. Like, I've been haunted by that.
Yeah.
It is though, it is. And it's not a lie. Like, we are definitely Spursy. Like, we mess up whatever we want. But like, I just think if anyone's going to change the mentality, and I know Sense is going to laugh at me, it will be Jose Mourinho, because he's the only one that, if he can't change it, then we are cursed. We are, that's it. Like, Tottenham will never win something. We have bought 7 players that potentially can start, like, if we include Joe Rondon in that. Like, when are we going to actually win something? Like, even if it's a League Cup, I'll celebrate that like it's a bloody Champions League. I'll tell you now. I don't care. I need a trophy. So anything. And I do think that we can do something, hopefully.
They were said that City are next. Yannicka,
Mm-hmm.
who do you fear? Gareth Bale. Obviously, he's not, I wouldn't say he's starting to hit the ground running, but he seems to be picking up a bit of form here and there. Is he the guy that's going to change Spurs' fortunes?
I don't know. I think obviously he's a fantastic player. When he first came back, he didn't look that great, but then he seems to be getting back to his old self now. So I think, he's going to be a good player. He will get goals. Obviously, he'll improve Spurs. They've also got a very good attack in Harry Kane and Son, in particular. So I think they will do well. The only thing that I would say in terms of title race is that I think a lot of teams, they have to kind of get there, but maybe not win it before they win it. So I don't know if they're going to kind of come almost from not from nowhere, but I mean, not to be in a title run quite a few years and then to go straight and win it. I'm not so sure. But Jose is a winner, so I think he will win something. I don't know if it will. The first trophy will be the Prem. I don't know. But yeah, I think they should be challenging really with the squad that they've got. I think they should be challenging. So we'll see what happens. This season's a bit weird at the moment. I don't think you can really see who's going to win it. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But I hope they don't beat us. They've got a good record against us at their new stadium so far. So fingers crossed.
Luckily, to be honest, we've got a lot of VAR decisions against you lot that have helped us. The handball, I don't know how we got that.
The only person I feel that needs to win something is Harry Kane. That's as simple as it is for me. The guy is too damn good. I mean, he's for me. I'm just gonna say it right now. For me, he's the best striker on the planet.
That's a lie, but okay.
We're friends. This is great.
I genuinely think he is, and I've been screaming this for Kel. You know, I've been screaming his name for ages. I won't change it.
Do you know what?
It's still a lie.
Playmaker as well, if you want.
Why is it a lie?
Because Lewandowski, I don't understand what you mean. Why is it a lie?
I still take Harry Kane over him. I'm just gonna say that now.
Do you watch Harry Kane actually overall? Because he's brilliant all over the pitch, not just as a goal scorer.
You want your strikers to score goals, don't you not?
He does everything. He does everything.
It's even better, is it not?
This is my point. That's why I love him so much more. It's not that Lewandowski can't do it, and he's done it in Champions League, as people are now telling me in the chat already. Not let me land. He's done his thing in the Champions League. Obviously, he plays for
Bayern. Trying to land, bro. No, I'm not letting you land. No,
not you. People in the comments telling me about lining up CL and that. Tottenham, you're gonna line up CL with Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer at the back, but it is what it is.
Dyer
but
is Jose Mourinho's long lost son.
Who?
Dyer. He is not gonna ever drop Eric Dyer ever.
Oh, that's true.
He loves him. He literally loves him. He's like infatuated by Eric Dyer.
Oh yeah, but I think Kane is. I think he's supreme, but he needs to win something. I know he wants to win something with Spurs. People are saying he needs to leave. I think he just wants to win something at that club before he says, "All right, cool. Maybe do I leave, or is there something that's gonna build here?" Before he makes that big decision. So, just for his sake, because how old is he? What now? 27, 28? I think.
27.
Yeah. So yeah, time's not ticking just yet. It's not ticking just yet, but he doesn't want to be in like that sort of Van Persie situation where he was like, I don't know if I need to be here or if I need to go and give myself something before I leave. So,
I don't think he wants to leave. I think he wants, like you said, he wants to win something at Tottenham.
Yeah, Kel, what's the problem?
Why are you bringing up Van Persie? Why?
Because it's true, though. It's a true comparison.
No, like. Still.
So, right, Van Persie's at your club, didn't win anything, so he said, I
don't like it. I don't like it. Stop it.
I don't like it.
All right, cool.
Brilliant.
We will move on. Leicester 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yes, we can talk about that.
Wow. Okay, first of all, this comment is a lie, so we're just gonna brush past that one as well. Yeah. And this is the truth. There we go.
Brilliant. Yeah. I'm loving this.
Also, just to add on Tottenham, I think there's a lot of talk about Bale, being the marquee signing and the best signing that they made. But I just think Reguilon at left back, fantastic player, and I think
our best signing
just been brilliant.
Our best signing is Højbjerg. He is the signing of the summer for Tottenham. Honestly,
I love this Højbjerg. The way you say his name is Højbjerg.
Højbjerg.
I absolutely love him. Honestly. He has transformed the way that midfield play, though. We could not play like that without him. So he's our best.
Højbjerg is just a Jose dream. Do you know what I mean?
He's my dream as well.
He's a Jose dream. But I wanted to mention Gareth Bale, but I think everybody is just seeing the glitz and glamour with Gareth Bale. But I don't think Gareth Bale is going to deliver for them. I really don't. I think he's probably going to be injury prone throughout his time there, and when he does play, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna produce much.
Tottenham fans are not gonna be happy, bro.
Yeah, boy.
I don't even want to retaliate because I just can't be bothered.
And I can say it on here. I won't say it on Twitter because I'll get about 100 people atting me and replying. But I'll say it on here. But no, man, I'm telling you, like just watch the way he plays. And we was talking about needing time to adapt and stuff. He's not going to get that time, and he's old now. And say that again.
She said her blood's boiling.
Oh. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Obviously, Gareth Bale is Gareth Bale, but I think we're all judging Gareth Bale on what he was doing years ago.
Yeah, no,
we're not talking about what he can do right now. he's not been able to.
It's just the image of the club, though. We finally made a big signing that changes, that shows we have some sort of ambition. So I also think that changes the way the players play. Getting him is different to getting the normal youngsters that we get from the Championship. It's like we actually got Gareth Bale. So then you've got Kane there thinking, okay, we're actually a serious club. Regardless of if he plays well or not, it's an image thing. The club then believe.
No, but I with regards to the signing itself, I don't think it was I think it was a great signing. I totally understand it. I think from the fans' perspective is what I'm saying. I think that people are expecting Gareth Bale to come in and do a Mazza because he's Gareth Bale, and I don't believe that he's going to do that.
Is there? The worry is there. We're not stupid. Like
you lot all got so excited when he scored the header, talking about the great header. I'm like, it was a standard header. It's like you lot are so excited to see man do something. It's like, oh, but anyway.
Yannicka, people in the comments.
Gareth Bale slander.
Yannicka, people in the comments are saying that if Aguero leaves, Harry Kane replacement, would you think he's the next ideal replacement if when Aguero does eventually leave?
A lot of City fans love Kane, and that's what they say. We want Kane, but I don't think City will buy him. And my reason for that is that I think, one, the price tag will be ridiculous because he's English and he's coming from Tottenham. So I think if he does leave Tottenham, he will probably go abroad. I don't think he'll stay in England. And secondly, with us, depends who our manager is. If it remains Pep, I have a feeling Pep will go for someone like Felix. That's his sort of guy. But I personally think we should go for Haaland. But I don't think Pep will. I think Pep will go for Felix. He likes that.
Imagine having owners to say you can go for Haaland.
He's the only one that's actually got links to Man City. Everyone else doesn't have any links, so I don't know. But I'd love Haaland. His dad played for us, so it'd be nice to see him. But
Roy Keys guy.
Yeah, he ended his career. That's why I can't see him going United no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. I think you raised a good point. I think Haaland, that will probably be a good, because he either goes to I think he goes Bayern Munich or Madrid. But knowing that his father has a link to Manchester City, it kind of does make sense because he seems to listen to his father. So I mean, it's not a bad choice to go to Manchester City, considering I don't know, you can easily afford him. So I think that will probably be a great sign. If Pep's not an idiot, I think he should listen to you and then go for Haaland. To be honest with you,
Don, what are you saying? What are you saying for this Haaland to Liverpool? What are you saying?
Liverpool.
Get rid of the striker.
Yeah, I want. If I had to pick a striker, obviously it will be Mbappe or someone like a Felix. I like Felix a lot.
I love him.
Felix, G.
I wish
you
I
want to keep Firmino forever.
Obviously his form isn't great, but you know what's interesting? Like, I know it would never happen, but I would love to see Firmino at Man City, just to see how that would work. But obviously that would never happen.
Fair enough. Leicester 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Good win. I think it was a VAR masterclass or disaster class. Whichever way you want to put it. Vardy got a penalty. He scored that one, missed another penalty. I think Wolves were asking for a penalty as well, weren't they? So it was a game full of handball decisions and left and right, but yeah, good win for Leicester overall, I think. We get to this one. Manchester City 1, Liverpool 1. Everybody says it was a great game of football. I think the first half was a great game of football. Second half, it kind of died. I mean, what was the reason behind that? Did both teams, after the second half, go? A point here is pretty decent, to be honest with you.
I'll start off with the first half. I think it was the best 45 minutes of football that we've seen this season. I think two top teams going at it. Klopp threw in a surprise by going with the front four instead of a front three. And I think that kind of caught Man City off guard. They wasn't expecting so many Liverpool players to flood forward. And I think Liverpool's game plan was literally to try and score as many goals as early as possible, because you've seen them do that to Manchester City previously. For example, last season when we scored 3 goals in about 15 or 20 minutes. And I think Liverpool tried to do that again, but they're quiet. They didn't really get their final third interchange on point for them to score more than 1 goal. And I think because the game is so tight, I think in the second half, I think both teams were thinking we can go for a winner, but if we commit 1 extra man, that can cost us losing the game. So I think both teams just settled, all right, if we score a set piece, we'll take it. If we can score just randomly out of like a direct ball, we'll take it. But if not, let's take a point. And there's still, 29 games to go in the season. So I don't think it's the worst result for both teams. But I think Liverpool will be the much happier team with that result, because I wasn't confident at all.
Yannicka, KDB, your new hero, stepped up for the penalty and completely missed it. How upset were you that he missed that golden opportunity?
Do you know what? I just think, like, the last time we had a penalty against Liverpool, Mahrez missed it. It's crazy. But I think with our penalties, we've had a bit of an issue with it because a lot of people kept missing. So it's only De Bruyne because he wasn't missing the penalty. So he's kind of taken it. He's passed it. That was not a penalty. That was a pass. I don't know what he was thinking, really. I think I said at the time, just place it. If he saves it, he saves it. At least you might be able to, get the rebound or whatever. But I think I agree with what Dot was saying in terms of the game. I think I said when I saw the landmark, Klopp's trying to get 2 early goals so that he can go back to more. He probably would have taken off an attacker and then gone sort of defensive in the second half, and then we wouldn't be able to come back because we're not that clinical this season. So I think that's what he was going for. It didn't work. In the first 20 minutes, I thought, they're going to battle us here because they got a penalty, and then I thought they're going to beat us. The way they were playing, they were much better than us. But then after that, it kind of was quite equal towards the end. And then when we came out for the second half, I've said that City this season tends to have 1 good half of football. So because it wasn't the first half, I thought it might be the second half. We were a bit better in the second half, but you could see we were playing for a draw towards the end. And I think that game, the way it went, City should have been winning that. You're at home. We had a lot of possession. We had more chances. We should have been winning that game. So definitely Liverpool will be more happy because obviously they haven't beat us at the Etihad since 2015. So it's been quite a while anyway. So I think they'll be happy with that. All that Pep's done now is made Anfield a must-win, and we don't win there. So I'm hoping the way this year's going, because it's a bit weird, I'm hoping that we can finally win Anfield, but we've pretty much got to win there now. So
I disagree with the point that you had the better chances. You had the biggest chance, which was a penalty. Yeah. And I think just that penalty miss and Riyad Mahrez's penalty miss 2 years ago just shows the pressure of that game, how tense it is. But I think Liverpool were the better team overall. We had 10 shots. I think Man City had 6. And the only other significant Man City chance I can remember was, in fact, there was 2, the Sterling one and the Jesus header.
Yeah.
But I think that result was a bad result for City when I think about it, because they had to win that game just for confidence, just to say that, look, we're not going away this season. And I think the one thing that's disappointed me this season in regards to City is that I expected them to start 8 out of 8 because of what happened last season. And for them to be in mid-table, I think that's pretty underwhelming.
Your boy, your star boy at right back, Trent, he got a heap of criticism for the goal conceded, just in case of whether the touch was lucky or not. He wasn't maybe close enough to Gabriel Jesus already. He wasn't goal side, so maybe get close and make it more difficult. Do you think that criticism was unwarranted, or is it fair? And how much you're going to miss him over the next couple of weeks?
He got spun, man. Like, Jesus spun him. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? I think he had a good game, Trent. I think he's improved defensively against Atalanta. He was fantastic. And I think against Man City, he had a good game, but Jesus spun him. And that's what quality can do. So, yeah, there's always going to be critics saying, oh, Trent can't defend. To some degree, you're right that he's not the best defensively, but I don't think he's bad defensively. And he's a massive miss. That goes without saying.
I mean, some people have said Fabinho or Milner, I guess, will be the right back replacement. Who would you prefer there? I mean, I know Fabinho has history there, but obviously Milner's obviously done a great job for you at left back. Possibly could do the same. Who would you think will be the better fit?
I think Milner. I'm trying to think, or maybe we can put like a Joe Gomez at right back and Fabinho and Matip. It's difficult. Yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult one. Nico Williams, the young lad, can come in as well. Obviously, I know a lot of Liverpool fans are not too keen on him, but I think he's a decent talent, and I think if he can get a run of games, he can do a decent job at right back. But I think Thiago is back in training, so I think our injury crisis on the back end of the international break will be much more better. We'll be in a better situation.
And
can I just ask Semps a question? Because obviously you had that interview with Joe Gomez, and what was it what did you take away from that interview?
Well, from speaking to him, he's just really humble, and I think from what he says, and which was refreshing to hear, that he was humbled in the sense that he was like, you're only as good as your last game. So with regards to Liverpool, whilst they are ahead of the pack and they're Champions League champions, Premier League champions, they don't get that in their heads. The way they're saying is, next game, we have to go again. We have to always be better. And I think that's what winners do, innit? Winners don't rest on their laurels. Winners always try to improve and keep moving forward. And that's what came out from that discussion that I had with him, is that with regards to Liverpool, they don't get wrapped up in the hype. Even when Henderson, I think he came out with an interview last year and was like, nah, we not getting caught up in the whole, you've only got a few games, records and all of that stuff. For them, it's just business as usual. Every game is a new game. Like when you play, you're 5-0 up and you say it's 0-0, it's 0-0. It's that sort of mentality that Liverpool have. And they seem like a really together unit as well, man. Like everybody respects each other. And yeah, man, I think everything comes from Klopp as well, though, Dot. Everything comes from Klopp. I think that they, are just all gassed to have such a manager, and he's so infectious, and everything that the culture that you lot have at the moment is all from him, and then it spills down to the players. And for Joe as well, is he thought that he was going to go out on loan. So when Klopp came in, he was thinking to himself, you know what, I'm not in his plans now. And I think where Klopp came in and put so much faith in him from the beginning and was like, no, we're going to, because he got injured as well, just as Klopp came in. So Gomez's mind is like, no, I need to repay that. And every time they go as well. And another thing that you may not know, what he said is that you lot train and replicate the kickoff times, which is something I thought was mad. So again, it's that whole psychological thing that, you train at the same time that you're going to have the next game sort of thing, so that they're all ready for it. So yeah, just little gems.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful, actually. Can I say something quickly? Ruben Diaz has come into your club and he's been brilliant so far. I'm a big fan of his. I don't want to be put as one of those football hipster guys, but I probably am one of them. I love watching him. He's fantastic to watch. But aside from him, you haven't started off the best. Obviously, he's kind of peaking Manchester right now. Why do you feel like you guys have started off so slowly? As a whole, yeah.
I think, to be honest, the start of the season, we played a lot of games last season. We were in, most competitions quite late. So we had a lot of games to play. When we went into the new season, we had quite a few players out. We've had a lot of injuries. We've had players out with COVID, and I'm not saying that as an excuse because every team kind of have. But I think because of that, we started slowly. We've not been that clinical. Defensively, we were a bit of a shambles last season. So I think Diaz coming in, he just kind of there's like a calmness across our back four that we didn't have before. Laporte was kind of worrying all the time. Who's behind me? Making rash decisions because he doesn't know what's going on. Whereas now Diaz is there. He's more confident. He doesn't need to make rash decisions because, Diaz is there. So I think in general, us tightening up our defense is going to, at the moment, because we're not being that clinical either, it's not looking great. But I think over the season, they do say defense wins you titles. And I think we will see the importance of our defense. With Diaz, he's brilliant so far. People are saying we're going to see what he does at Spurs. Because obviously, if he has a good game, you Man United, them sort of games, if he can pull out performances like he did against Liverpool, then he's top quality. But I think we'll see. He's new to the club. He's settled in quite well. He's only 23, so I think he'll only get better anyway. But yeah, in terms of our slow start, like De Bruyne is not at full fitness. He's not, and he's still doing well, but he's nowhere near where he would normally be. So I think City will only improve. So that's why, in terms of the title race, people are ruling us out already. I just think it's way too early for that, especially the way the season's gone. Because to be 8 games in and every single team have lost, that's quite rare. That's rare for the league. So we'll see what happens.
Can I pick up on that quickly, very quickly? Sorry, guys, on that De Bruyne point, because I feel when you ask that, City are a team that I watch very, very closely, and I think De Bruyne is probably top 3 players in the league, if not the best. But I think the reliance or the over-reliance on him almost makes Manchester City predictable now.
Yeah.
So it's almost get the ball to De Bruyne in that inside right channel, and De Bruyne, you deliver a ball into that final third. And I think the season when they got 100 points, De Bruyne was out of the team, and that made other players like Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling to step up their creative sparks on a weekly basis. And I think David Silva hasn't been replaced. So you've lost that creativity from Silva. So now every single progressive play goes through De Bruyne. And I think it's a bit easy to nullify. And I think the biggest problem with Rodri, although I'm not a big fan of his, is that he moves the ball too slowly. Yeah. He doesn't penetrate with his passes. So literally, Rodri gets the ball and it's straight to De Bruyne. And before you get that ball to De Bruyne, teams can bank up and you can't break it down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think because a lot of City fans are saying we obviously attack better with Bernardo, but then if Bernardo's in the squad, we don't have as much control as we'd have with Gundogan. So it's just, I think Pep needs to kind of work out what he's going to do, because we can't, like you say, it's very predictable. And David Silva is obviously a massive miss. Bernardo Silva was supposed to be his replacement, but obviously he's not at, David Silva is unreal. So I think we'll struggle. And I think that's another reason why we started slowly, because the players are so used to having David Silva there. Every single player that we've got has been playing with David Silva since they got there. So I think it's just going to take us a bit of time, but I think eventually we'll work it out. I think Gundogan and Rodri together are very slow. I think I'm a bit faster than Rodri. Like, he's slow. I like Rodri, but he's slow. So,
sorry, we're dragging a bit. Sorry, guys. But I think the thing is with Bernardo Silva, you said that he's not as good as David Silva, but technically, in terms of technical ability, he's a 10 out of 10 player, same as David Silva. But I think the reason with Bernardo Silva, I don't see him as that centre mid kind of player. I think he's best on the right. A lot of Man City fans want to see him centrally, but I don't think that's his position. I think he's more of an attacker and that final third kind of player instead of someone that can actually control the play.
Yeah, I think just because based on sort of the squad that we've got at the moment, I think when Fernandinho's back, I feel like he will play Fernandinho and Rodri together. I think that's who he will play. But obviously, because the thing is, for me, Fernandinho is the guy that stops the attacks from the other team. Do you know what I mean? He'll put a foot in, even if he can take someone out, he'll do it. Whereas Rodri's a lot faster than Fernandinho. So he's very he's good at passing and stuff like that, but he's just like Fernandinho will think, I'm going to take out this guy to stop them from attacking, whereas Rodri won't do that. So I think we need that Fernandinho element to our game. We definitely need it, and we need to replace Fernandinho because I don't think Rodri is going to replace him. So I think we need someone else as well as Rodri.
Can I ask a question before everybody shoots off? Sorry, Cahill.
Don't worry. We ain't shooting off because we still got a free. Certainly, don't worry.
It was picking up on something that Dot said earlier when he said that Trent got spun, and I've watched that goal back, and I'm not convinced that he meant to do that. We've seen the Bergkamp one back in the day, which again I had to watch it, and I'm like, yeah, I think Bergkamp meant that. I don't think Jesus meant that. And Yannika's gone now, but I wanted to ask her does she feel that Jesus will be able to get enough goals in Aguero's absence? Because for me, when I look at City, I don't see Jesus as being able to get enough goals because he misses chances like the header. And then he scores that brilliant goal. But as I said, I personally don't believe that he actually meant to do that.
Yeah, I did hear what you said. I don't think he meant it. But obviously, the good thing about Jesus is he does tend to get goals exposed because a lot of people say he's not as good as Aguero. Obviously, Aguero, if we're looking for a replacement for him, exactly, it's going to be difficult. So I think we have to kind of take Gabby for what he is, and he's a bit of a different player to Aguero. For me, I quite like what he does off the ball. So, sometimes he's good at keeping the ball up. He's quite good off the ball. But, yeah, he doesn't get as many goals as Aguero. He misses a lot of chances. I think the problem with City is they all miss a lot of chances, which sounds crazy because we tend to score the most goals every season.
Yeah, because you create 100 a game.
We still miss so many chances. So I think I don't know. He's still relatively young, so he's got a lot of time. But his stats are good, so we'll just have to see how he does. But I think if we're looking for Aguero 0.2, we're gonna kind of miss his quality, which he's different to Aguero. So we'll see how many goals he scores this season. If Aguero continues to be injured a lot, we'll need him a lot more. I think we do need someone to help him as well. We can't just rely on one player every season. It needs to be. I remember we used to have 4 strikers. When Aguero first came in, we had Aguero, Dzeko, and then we had other people coming in, whether it's Bonnie, we had Negredo. We used to have a lot of options, whereas now it seems to be if Aguero's not fit, we've only got him. And I think it's a bit unfair to kind of rely on him all the time. So we'll see.
Imagine being the Spurs fan and having just Kane for 4 or 5 seasons. You've had someone else. We're gassed that we got Vinny. We're like one other striker. We're sitting there doing backflips. Honestly, it's bad how different fans just think.
Yeah.
Just sitting there grateful, thank you for signing a striker, Levy.
Hello.
Final question on City.
Yeah.
It seems like every City fan seems to say the same things. We need to sign a replacement for Company. We need to sign a replacement for David Silva. As soon as now it says Fernandinho. Next is going to be Aguero. Pep has spent, I think, almost $1 billion on this current squad. Why can't he get the best out of this current squad? I just don't understand it. Is it down to him falling out of love with Manchester City a bit, or I mean, we hear, well, my coach always says that he's an emotional wreck, and it seems like when stuff doesn't go his way, he just can't navigate out of it. So what does Pep need to do in order to get the best out of this current squad?
I don't think he's lost love in the club. I think since his mum's died, he's definitely changed him a little bit. I think that's obvious. And I do think for that reason he will leave City. I don't think it will be because, he's had enough of the club. I think he just needs to grieve. So I think he will leave. Hopefully not. I love Pep, so I'd like him to stay. In terms of the team, it's interesting because there's been a few comments flying around saying that, the dressing room's a bit, Mahrez is getting pushed out and stuff, but that doesn't actually seem to be the case. So I think people are a little bit reactionary, whether that's the fans, the media, in terms of when things don't go well. I think we've had a lot of games this season where the scoreline hasn't really shown the full story. I think sometimes we have played all right, but we've not got the result. And I think Pep kind of against Liverpool, I thought that's a good starting lineup. I didn't really have any problems with it. But then the first sort of 20 minutes, it just wasn't working. Torres wasn't getting into the game. And we just looked a bit slow at the beginning. So I don't know. I think with Pep, I think he is very strict with his players. They know what they need to do to impress Pep. And there are certain players who people were complaining because they weren't being dropped. So Mahrez, for example, didn't start the season too well. And, he was still playing. So then Pep did drop him. And then it's like we didn't do so well against Liverpool. So I'm not sure. I think with our team that we've got, everyone wants to play. And I think he goes from what happens in training rather than the game. You will see a City player play fantastically and then he won't start the next week. So I think he goes off the training rather than how they played in the last game. So we'll have to see. I think it's early days for this season. I know Pep's not happy that we've had so many games, we've had so many injuries, so many people out. So hopefully after this international break, people come back a bit more refreshed and he can get sort of the best out of them. We've got quite a lot of players who are quite inconsistent as well. Bernardo Silva's one of them. Bernardo Silva started fantastically. No, he didn't start too good. Then he had that fantastic season. And then last season, he wasn't great. So this season so far, he looks all right. So we'll have to see what happens. But we just need consistent players, We need a bit of consistency. Even if we get 3 wins in a row at the moment, I think that will be enough to kind of push us on a little bit. And we'll see how we fare against Spurs. I'm not entirely confident going away to Spurs. Especially
we haven't been great at home.
And Kane, so yeah, I think we'll have to see. For me, it's early days, so I just want to see what happens for now.
Fair enough. I think we should start wrapping up now. Don't you think?
No.
What? No.
Definitely not.
No. Why not? I think we've done all the games, haven't we?
No. I mean, if you look at the comment below, let's talk about teams. There's still certain teams,
He's moving like Jose Mourinho, Mr. Club and that. You don't have
3,
Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 3.
Got absolutely bodied.
Wow. Wow.
Body! Hey!
You did, didn't you?
I'm not gonna lie though, that result didn't really surprise me.
No, it didn't.
Like I was saying it before the Liverpool game, Aston Villa's starting 11 is actually a scary 11. Like when you actually look at it, and I was talking to a few of my friends and I was like, how many Arsenal players 100% get into that Aston Villa team? Thomas Partey, yeah. No. Thomas Partey.
He logs off.
Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Leno versus Martinez is questionable. It's not a fact, yeah.
Martinez is better than him.
No, Martinez is better, yeah.
Okay. So Leno, Oba, Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, Tierney.
Yeah.
And Partey. So 4 players, yeah. Partey, Oba, Tierney, And
I wouldn't say Leno at all, bro. I'm not gonna lie to
yeah,
you.
not
No.
Leno. And one of the centre backs, like a David Luiz or a Gabriel, I'm gonna have them in.
No, Gabriel. Let's not talk
Okay,
about Luis, please.
Okay,
So Gabriel.
four.
So we're saying
Four
4
out of
players.
11.
And this is my point. McGinn, yeah, starts for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Grealish will be Arsenal's best player. Yeah. And Douglas Luiz, I think, is a potential Fernandinho replacement at Man City. Amazing defensive midfielder. And then you got Ross Barkley, that's a maverick. On his day, you know that Ross Barkley can be a threat, right? Ollie Watkins, the best player in the Championship last season, in my opinion. 6 striker.
Better than Lacazette, 100.
100%.
100.
Ezri Konsa improving. Tyrone Mings looking like a decent Premier League centre back now. So the team, when you look at their team, there's a lot of technical ability in that team, and that's why they managed to beat Liverpool 7-2. Like, because they've actually got quality.
Ah.
We just talk about Willian for a second.
The worst
Oh,
thing-
Yeah. I'm here for that. Yeah.
I was holding smoke from Arsenal fans like, don't lie, you lot wanted him. I was like, no, I definitely didn't want him. Firstly, because
I want to go on record and say I'm one of the Arsenal fans that would never say you guys want it. I don't think anybody should want Willian. I think he's a horrible player.
Oh, he can still do a job.
No, he can't.
No, he can't.
William was good last season, though. He was
No,
good.
he wasn't.
You know
He
what?
wasn't.
He wasn't.
He was good when he wanted a new contract. That's what Willian does.
Yeah.
Well, no, honestly, that he was not good.
It was almost like Aubameyang trying to sign the thing, and then once he did, he's just disappeared.
We're basically resigned to Walcott with an afro. Nah. You know what? Yeah. You know what?
No. You know what I'm gonna do? For the first time on this podcast ever, I'm defending Walcott. No, Walcott is better than Willian. I don't care. Willian is dead.
Honestly,
Absolutely.
I was getting told you don't lie, you wanted him, it's just because of the history. Yeah, it's because of the history, but I don't want him at all. He's dead. He's finished out here. And I was like, you could go to retirement home of Arsenal. They like to get Chelsea retirement home players.
Yeah, no, it's true. Arsenal's recruitment in the Premier League, it needs to improve, because when you look at some of the signings they've made over the years,
you just fill a
Willian.
gap, but you don't
Yeah,
fill it with quality
David
normally.
Luiz.
Like, you just fill it. It's just
Like,
like, oh yeah, we need
Yossi
centre-back. Let's just
Benayoun,
get
like,
David
they're-
Luiz. Oh, we
Yossi
need-
like,
Benayoun.
yeah, like the recruitment within the Premier League needs to improve. Like when you look at a team, like Liverpool, they get the best in the Premier League, Diego Jota, Sadio Mane. But when you look at Arsenal's recruitment within the league, it's pretty poor, and that's where they need to improve.
Danny
I
Welbeck.
mean, Cedric Suarez, that signing doesn't make sense.
Oh my
But you know
God,
what,
yeah.
though? The Arsenal
Right.
fans were gassed by that signing, though. They were. The Arsenal fans that I speak to
Yeah.
were gassed by that signing.
Mhm.
Eliza, they don't watch football.
Danny Welbeck, like the list goes on. Like
I mean,
Arsenal's
we have the
recruitment.
same issue, to be fair. Our recruitment is pretty dead normally. Like, we have the same problem. But I don't know if it's because of Jose Mourinho that we've now actually backed who he wanted. Because normally we go and get, like, these dead players, these free loans and...
But the thing is, you can
youngsters.
expect that with Spurs because, you know, I'm not even trying to throw shade, but Spurs are not Arsenal in terms of where Arsenal have been. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can kind of
You're walking
expect
on thin
that.
ice right now.
You would expect better from Arsenal. But Cahill,
Yeah,
I
but
wanted
their
to
owners,
ask
I think
you
their
quickly:
owners are a lot worse than ours.
is
Their owners are worse than ours. As in, I would expect more players to want to go to Arsenal due to like the history, but their owners, I think the Cronkies are much worse than Enoch, and I hate Enoch.
yeah, I suppose. But Cahill, what is it about Arteta's reliance to stick with this Lacazette up front and Aubameyang out on the left? Because that's something that when I watch Arsenal play week in, and I can't understand. I can't make sense of it. I'm trying to. I can't make sense of it.
You
This is
can't. I
beautiful.
can't make sense of it. I don't know. I've been saying this since Lacazette. Since it's Lacazette's second season. I don't understand why we don't put a 30+ goal striker up front when instead of relying on a 15+. If he's being, that's a good season for Lacazette. 15 plus. I don't understand why we don't play Aubameyang down middle. Yes, he scored a whole bunch of goals down the left last season. Great. We finished 9th. The season before that, when he scored a whole bunch of those goals, we finished 5th.
Christ, I forgot they finished 9th.
I don't know. I don't care. 8th, 9th, 10th. That's a horrible.
Don't worry, you finished 8th. Don't worry, 8th.
London's white.
Great.
London's white.
Great. I don't. People are saying that the formation is the problem, and we shouldn't be playing 5 at the back at home. I see no problem with formation. I see a problem with how we attack and how we just rely so. Yes, I want to see us with 3 players in midfield. I want to see that. I want to see that since Arteta come in. But teams in this league play with 5 at the back and play much more much more direct, much more on the front foot. Wolves, for example, they play exciting football with 5 at the back. So I don't want to hear that the formation. Wolves. So I don't want to hear that formation is the problem. It's Arteta. He's so reluctant to attack, and I don't know why.
I think
he's relying on.
I think in his defense, I think the personnel of the team is very, very bad, and it goes back to my point comparing the 2 lineups. Look at us. Take away Thomas Partey. Arsenal's midfield options, they're poor. Xhaka, El Neni's a decent player, but he's
but I get that. But here's the problem. He likes Xhaka. He likes El Neni. He likes David Luiz.
He cannot phase out everyone in one summer. This is his first summer transfer window. He cannot sell 15 players in one summer. This has to be a slow process. He can't change the whole team overnight.
I understand that it can be a slow process and blah 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 blah. But I'm not saying that as a rude thing, by the way. I'm just I hear that a lot. But it's not like Arsenal haven't had history with Xhaka being poor. With El Nene, who was on loan in Turkey last season. But he just refuses to play some creative options. Like we had Guendouzi last season. He seems very. If he doesn't like you, you're out the team. Ozil, Pepe, Saliba this year. If he doesn't like you, you're out the team, and that seems to be.
That goes with any top manager. We're just saying that because he's losing games, but Pep Guardiola does that. Sane, he fell out with Sane. Jurgen Klopp, he does it. Every top manager, if they don't fancy you, they don't play you.
But the difference being 2 of those players have been completely omitted from the team to the point where they can't be seen at all. Now, he brought back Saliba, which I understand. He said obviously he went on loan, he did well, then he's come back to the club, and then the intention was to put him into the team to play. And now he's not only in the periphery of the Premier League team, but he's not in the Europa League team at all. Whereas I think Arsenal's frustration is, for example, Mustafi hasn't lifted up any sort of tree since he joined the club. So why is he in the Europa League team for Saliba? Pepe played well against Dundalk, but he played well. And, why is he not starting? I feel like it's kind of similar to what I feel about my club is that there's a lack of consistency in the lineup and the manager's not getting the best of what we feel he can get the best out of the team. So I think that's maybe where they're feeling a bit more insecure about their team, possibly.
No, I think that's not fair to say, because when you look at Man United's team, it's a dangerous team. Like, they've got dangerous players. Arsenal, I do not see it. I don't see the quality there. And from when I'm saying how many Arsenal players get into the Aston Villa team, I'm not trying to throw shade at Arsenal. I'm just being real. McGinn, Grealish, Douglas Luiz, Ollie Watkins, they all start for Arsenal. And that's not good enough.
But Doc, would you expect Villa to finish above Arsenal this season?
No.
So then really Arsenal should be beating them then. I get what you're saying about the players and everything, but Arsenal should be able to beat Aston Villa, and they should be able to put in a better performance than losing 3-0 to Aston Villa, especially after the back of beating Man United so convincingly as well. Like it was
convincing. I think defensively we were sound. I don't think it was convincing. We wasted far too many chances.
It was one of those things where against Man United, you've got 2 teams that both don't know how to attack, and you controlled the game more, and you defensively better. It was heading for a 0-0 before the penalty. I agree, but I think you were the better team. You didn't look like losing that game. But then you then go to Aston Villa and that result, when you look at it, it doesn't flatter Aston Villa. Do you know what I mean? That could have been.
It flatters Arsenal.
Yeah.
It flatters Arsenal. But Sems, what I'm trying to say is that you say that, but every game is different. Aston Villa, you're going to be playing against a low block. You know exactly what they're going to do. It's difficult to break down. It took Jurgen Klopp 3 years to find a solution on how to break down a low block consistently. These fixes don't happen overnight. Arteta doesn't have the players to break down a mean defense. He just doesn't have the players.
But why does he? So I get what you're saying. Why does he persist though with the Aubameyang on the left when they don't create chances from wide? So Aubameyang essentially is just out of the game most of the time, just doing a lot of defensive and up and down. What you would have, I think, wouldn't you be better off having him as your main striker, maybe throwing someone like a Saka on the left and giving Pepe a chance on the right and trying to do that, no?
To a degree, yes, but at the end of the day, Arteta watches these players in training every single day, and he's starting what he feels is the best 11 to tackle a game. And you say, why is Auba on the left? I'll tell you why Auba's on the left, even though I don't agree with it. Arteta's mindset is, how much goals can I get into this team? If I play Lacazette, he may not be the best player, but he scores 15 goals a season. Plus, I've got Auba, who I know scores consistently from the left. So if I can get both of them in the team, that means more goals.
It's a bit naive to think like that, though, no?
It must be the only reason, because it seems like he doesn't like Auba because he can't hold the ball up, so he doesn't want to play him up front. So I'd rather play him on the left than play a Lacazette that can score.
No, but then again, on the left, I think Auba's wasted, because I think teams have now discovered that if he has the ball on him, they know he can't beat him.
Yeah.
He does rely on his pace, yes, but I think if they sit back and allow him to try and dribble, he's going to eventually give it. Only 5 teams have scored a few goals enough.
Like, there's no creativity in the Arsenal. And I'm not defending Arteta, because I think that was a shocking result, and I think he really needs to look at himself in the mirror after that sort of performance. But when I look at that team, who is a creative spark? You've got a 19-year-old that's your best creative player, which is Saka. That's worrying, man. Like,
no, but last season, wouldn't you say that, especially during the end, Pepe and Aubameyang had a nice link up?
I don't see it with Pepe, you know.
What is the deal with Pepe? What is the deal with Pepe?
He's just not that good. He's just not that good. Don't worry. He's just not that good.
But like, no. I think he's got a really good player in him. I watch him and I think he's skillful. I look at him and I'm like, if he clicks, he will be brilliant. So like, I don't understand why he's not getting the chances. I just don't understand it.
That's the thing. That's what I understand. If you look at him week in, week out and say, no, he's not good enough on the training pitch. But who on the right's good enough? What's Willian showing on the training pitch, and what's Willian showing on the football pitch? That proves that he's good enough. So I don't understand why you give these players a chance. Give Saliba a chance. If you want to play 4 at the back, I understand he's 18, but he went to the what's it? I think I don't know the name of the final in the French league. What is it? He went to the cup final with the French league with Saint Etienne last season, and that shows to me that he has some sort of maturity in him. He's one of their best players. So I don't understand why he then comes to Arsenal and then immediately gets alienated. And apparently he's thinking about sending him out on loan again. And that's like, why? This team spent so much money on a defender that was linked to Real Madrid as a replacement for Rafa Varane, but Arteta comes in, it's like, no, I don't fancy him. But he fancies Mustafi. He fancies Rob Holding, who's been horrible since day one. Day one, he's been horrible. Mustafi, Holding, David Luiz is horrible. So why not give Saliba a chance?
It's not easy. But it's not easy.
Let him get the stress out. Don't worry.
Yeah, but it's not easy to go into a club and just phase out your senior players. This is not a Pep Guardiola. He doesn't have that clout and authority in the game to just say, "Look, Joe Hart, you're being."
I'm sorry, but Poch did it when he first came to Tottenham. He throws out many senior players.
Did he do it
Bring
straight
Poch
away?
to Old Trafford.
Straight away.
Pochettino had
as soon as he walked in, he throws out many of our deadwoods.
Yeah, but Pochettino had a reputation. He was one of the
at
brightest.
Southampton? What was the
Brilliant.
reputation? He played nice football. That was the reputation.
That was his reputation, but like he was wanted by a lot of
you
top
just
clubs
got to be
at the time.
assertive. That's just
No, but I'm just saying that you can't like.
Assertive.
No, we're saying that. Oh, Willian, what does Willian do? Willian doesn't do anything, but he may be the ultimate professional in training every single day, keeping up the standards. We don't know. You get what I'm trying to say?
But that doesn't mean
Mustafi.
sacrifice results, no.
No, but Pepe's not delivering. When he's playing, he's not delivering.
But if he's got more quality, he might. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
A
When
lot
I
of
see Pepe, I don't see it. I'm not
a
gonna
lot
lie.
of Arsenal fans don't see it with Pepe. They look at Pepe and they say,
Exactly. It is easy
Premier
to see
League,
if players are
don't
useless.
see it. You know what I mean?
I just think you give him a chance, man. I feel like you just give these players a chance. Don't come in and alienate. He alienated Pepe. He alienated Ozil. He alienated Gunduzi, who last season wasn't great, but in terms of our midfielders going forward, he was one of the best. And that means he's now gone out on loan. He can't use him.
No, but I agree.
Now he's kept Deadwood. Like it's.
What are your thoughts on Arteta's style, though? Do you feel like he is quite defensive?
I don't think this is what his preferred style. I agree. He's got a whole bunch of horrible players. I agree with that. I've been agreeing with that since Arsene Wenger there. And these players were there since Arsene Wenger was there. But I just don't think. Have options. Give yourself options. That's the crux of my argument. He just
definitely not.
He just completely cut off all his creativity, and I don't know why. Because they don't defend. I think the indicator of how not bad, of his style was as soon as I think his first training session. I think the quote was, "If you're not going to do that on the pitch, then don't do it in training." What does that mean? You don't want players to be. You don't want players to have flair. You don't want players to be creative. It's
you know
reductive.
What it is? We overrate players that don't play. Ozil was playing. Ozil's been playing for years, and he's been doing nonsense. Like Guendouzi was poor last season.
No, but this
Pepe, when he plays, he doesn't do anything.
But nobody in that team does anything. So I feel like if you play, there are players. Pepe has more of a chance of. This is going on for far too long. This is Arsenal, right? Pepe stands more chance of creating than Willian does. Yes or no? Regardless of his quality or not. Yes or no?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. No.
I think he does. Because he done it last season in the FA Cup. I think he was brilliant in the FA Cup last season. If you see his 2 goals, yes, they were in the Europa League. Yes, they were against poor opposition. But they were the only 2 goals that weren't lucky. That weren't either deflect rebounds to our players. He created something out of nothing with those goals. So I don't see why he's not given a chance in the Premier League.
But he has been given a chance.
Why not try it?
He's not. He's been given like 20 minutes each and every game. That's not a chance. I want him to start.
And when he does start, he doesn't do anything. He gets subbed off after 60 minutes, and you're like, where was Pepe?
We're going in circles here.
If you said
Willian does nothing,
that's fine. But if you said someone like Joe Willock should be having more game time, then I can agree because anytime Joe Willock plays, he looked impressive. But
I missed out Joe Willock. No. I missed out Joe Willock because there's so many players that he's alienated, and these are all our creative options.
Cahill, you Arteta out?
I'm not Arteta. I'm not Arteta. I feel like he wants desperately to play 4-3-3. But he thinks too much that we're going to concede if we play that style. But then again, we're conceding now.
That's what I'm saying. If it's not working, why not change it? That's what I don't understand. Like
exactly. Anyway, I'm stopping it right here because I'm actually sweating. You can't see it, but I am physically hot. So I'm stopping it here.
Well, Arsenal won 4, lost 4, isn't it? Arsenal.
Yeah. Poor.
1-4.
It's 1 for 1. Consistency.
Hey. Stop it. I don't even know how to finish this podcast. But anyway,
we should play a game of like which Arsenal players gets into which team. We should play that kind of game. Shut up. I think that'll be fun. Hey, Dot.
Does he get Arsenal agenda? I love it.
Dot, what are you saying? You taking any Arsenal players? You starting 11? What are you saying?
Nah.
You're taking all over Firmino. I'm not hearing it.
Alright, they got Jota now. So what are we saying? Are we still saying yeah or no?
No, I'll take over.
All right, over. All right. One out of 11 is good. 1 out of 11 is good. Yannicka, what are you saying? What are you saying?
I'd take Arteta back as Pep's number 2. He seemed to be doing well when he was there, so I don't know. Now Aubameyang's great, and in City's team, he's playing.
What of Aguero?
Well, not over Aguero. You'd have to have him as well. But Aguero's not fit right now, so yeah. But I don't know. I do like Saka, not for us, but I do like Saka. I think he's good. He played well against us, and you know, he's a good player. I think with Arsenal, there's definitely something going on behind the scenes. You know, Ozil keeps making comments, so there's clearly something going on. And I think that's affecting how you play on the field, because if things are behind closed doors, they're not going to be good on the pitch. I think William must be world class in training. If he doesn't get dropped, so I think he must be. I can't think of why he starts every single time. I do like William, to be honest. I used to be a fan of him.
He's getting sparked.
Right, this is our favorite one. Eleanor, you taking any Gooners in your starting 11?
You're a lie if you say no.
I actually really like Saka. Always have. I've tweeted about him a few times. And I'll take Aubameyang as a backup to Kane.
Oh!
You know what? You know what?
As a
You know what?
as well.
No, you know what?
Babe. Like,
I don't disagree with that. I seriously don't disagree with that. Kane's a better striker than Auba, so why would he start over him? I don't disagree. But then again,
Yeah,
you're taking Gabriel, you're taking Partey.
Gabriel, yeah.
No, she's got Højbjerg.
I genuinely don't think our midfield needs Partey. I think he's a different player, brilliant player, but I don't think. I think our midfield is solid.
Yeah.
If we get Lo Celso and Ndombele and Højbjerg, we don't need Partey in that midfield.
Boy.
I genuinely don't think the way we play, we don't need Partey in that midfield.
You know
we need Gabriel, I'll take, and before I would have taken Tierney, but obviously we got Reguilon, so.
Boy, you know, the Ghanaian in me wants to slander, but you know, it's at the same time, Partey's my boys, but you know, one day we're gonna be chopping fufu together, so I can't do it.
I love him. I just don't think he will. I just think that our midfield would work very well once we get that 3 in midfield.
I hear that. Semps, okay, I can't really banter on this one because we suck, but you taking any Gooners?
Yeah, we take Partey, innit? Standard. We take Partey.
How about?
Yeah, we'll take Aubameyang, Gabriel.
We got
Cavani.
I love Cavani, by the way. I was well, Jill.
The problem is Cavani. Any striker that comes to Man United is gonna suffer because
do you remember I had this conversation with you? We actually spoke about this before.
Yeah, they're gonna struggle, just like Cavani has struggled since he's come. Kojo don't want to admit it, but he struggled. Cavani struggled. Yeah, he ain't pulled up no trees. He hasn't set the world on fire.
He played like 10 minutes and then he finally got his goal.
He played a lot more than 10 minutes.
Okay, 20.
The reality of the situation is
all of a sudden.
Listen, Sebs, take time. Don't worry, you'll be on the same boat with me. Just doing one of these celebrations.
All right.
I'm waiting. I always like Cavani.
It's not even a knock on Cavani. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying anybody that comes into Manchester United is going to struggle up that end of the field, and we're going to see it, man. That's true. We're going to see it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still waiting for Martial to become good. But anyway,
Hey, you ain't flipping it on me today, rude boy. You ain't flipping it on me.
Is that what you did? Hey,
Arsenal, yeah.
Man, then paid 50 million for Lacazette, you know, boy. Interesting.
Well, how much was Paul Pogba?
Why are we talking about that?
Okay.
Why I'm not trying to bring it there for?
Wait, what's that for? How much was that?
I'm just asking how much was. You don't have to be defensive. I'm just asking.
I'm always defensive. I'm sorry. How much was it? What, 90 million?
What, Pogba? What, full season of unlocking Paul Pogba, yeah?
Oh, that's a different conversation.
Hey,
there.
listen,
I think we should go
we'll
with
need
that
a whole new
conversation.
podcast.
Let's
We're gonna need a whole
listen,
new
yeah.
podcast. Don't even mention his name. We need a whole new podcast, man. Oh shit.
to wrap
How
up.
you feeling, Kale? How you feeling?
Shut up, innit? That's how I'm feeling.
Leave them
To wrap
alone.
up.
They're down enough.
To wrap up.
The Spurs fan trying to protect the Arsenal boy,
You know?
Not
Yeah.
protect him. It's more like, oh, bless them.
Taking
Oh!
pity. A Spurs fan is taking
that
pity
bad that it's
because they
like,
have Jose
oh.
Mourinho. This is ridiculous, you know. Jose Mourinho. All right then. Good luck. Good luck winning the Premier League.
Wait.
Good luck.
We could talk about this for hours. What's
We
your-
can't. We can't.
Yeah,
We
we
physically
got hours
can't.
now.
It's the podcast has been almost 2
I've
hours.
had a roller coaster ride with Jose Mourinho. I'll tell you that.
Blimey. To wrap up on Arsenal, I would say play some creative football. Just end it there. Just try it. Try. Just trust some of the players because you're trusting the wrong ones, in my opinion. But anyway, we're finished. Thank God. I'm sweating like a madman. I don't. Blimey. It's been you guys have been torturing me. I don't know how long that rant. It might have been a
I
rant.
thought I was actually the nicest one.
You were actually, but it is what it is.
Considering that I didn't, I was gonna go hard on you, but I didn't.
Thank you very much. Yannicka, where can they find you?
On Twitter, which is below at Yannicka with 2 A's. I'm also on YouTube. Yan City ENT. Not done much on there yet. And you can catch my show on Sarcasm City on Saturday mornings. So just type Sarcasm City into YouTube and you'll find.
Is that the thing with Flawless?
No, well, it's his show, but it's with Rose, another City fan. It's a City show, but we can talk football. It's called Sarcasm City anyway.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
Eleanor, where can they find you?
On Twitter at LilyWhite_TV, Lily White TV on YouTube. I've just started. I've got like 3 videos, but yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, and LilyWhite_TV on Instagram as well. So yeah, all the same.
Dot, where can they find you?
At LFC Nino on Twitter. My podcast is at podcast_TBG on Twitter. YouTube, The Beautiful Game Podcast. We've had interviews with Rio Ferdinand, Brendan Rogers, Kieran Trippier.
Oh, name
Bruce,
drop.
Drop one of them.
So give it a listen.
Drop one of them. Yes. David Beckham soon come.
Fabrizio Romano. Yeah.
Yes.
Sebs, where can they find you?
Yeah, well, we ain't on the beautiful game pod level yet. But yeah, man, on Twitter at LSemps, and I'm on YouTube as well at Views TV Official, on Instagram at Views TV Official. So yeah, check me out if you want to hear what I've got to say, man.
Coach, where can they find us?
You can find us here on YouTube at 3inMidfield Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at 3inMidfield. And the same for, of course, all the audios, which is SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Pow.
This has been another episode of the 3inMidfield Podcast. Good night.
Peace.